Hi! Today we're in cooking school. We're learning how to make pie crust. So I already have 1 cup of flour and a couple of shakes of salt into that. Okay. This is a 1/2 cup of Crisco that we're putting in. Oops, I forgot to get out my one thing. Okay, now you just want to take this, go back and forth with it. This is enough to make a single crust pie, so you double it if you want to make a top crust too. So you just kind of break it up. It's supposed to look, when you get it to about the size of peas, and you stop. So that looks pretty good. Then we need 1/4 cup of water, cold water. Am I going out of the side? And you just kind of mix that in, just cut it in. Kind of keep it off of the, looks to me a little dry, so I'm going to put about another tablespoonful of water in it. You want it to stick together, but not to be too sticky. Okay. See how it is. Then you take it out. And I just kind of work it into a little ball. And then I push it down. I gotta get a couple other things I didn't get out here. You need a piece of wax paper. This is how we're going to roll out the crust, about that big. And I just put a little water right there because that holds it down. So when you're rolling it, the wax paper doesn't slide over. And then sprinkle flour all over it, a little bit more in the middle because that's where it gets most of the pressure. There's our pie crust. Middle. Put a little more flour on the top, and we're ready to roll. And then it's just kind of a little short back and forth. Then go this way, little back and forth. Now I can see it's starting to get kind of moist, so I just kind of flip up the edges to put a little more flour on it. You want to try to keep it in a round circle. You don't want a rectangle, but then you're trying to roll it even so it's not like 1/4 of an inch over here and paper thin over here. So you just go out from the middle. Okay, let's see. Oh, plenty big, we're fine. Okay, so then you take this, flip it over, fold the wax paper back, flip it over into my hand. Try to put this in the middle, and then just gently fold that back. And if it's a little off, you might have to maneuver it around, but you don't want to maneuver it too much because it will break. Kind of, I lift it up and then kind of poke it back down into the corners. Okay, then I'm going to see, that's kind of doesn't have as much right there. We can kind of mend it together. We don't want too much or the edge will be too thick. Okay. Then we're just going to take, if there's any on the edge, we fold it under. Okay, then we take our fork and this one, then we just go around and crimp it. I just hold my hand underneath it and it just goes like that. Okay, this is going to be the crust for like the lemon pie or a banana cream pie. And so we're just going to cook it like this. We're not going to put the filling in because the crust has to cook first. And as you cook it, it's going to come up with a big bubble because it's got a lot of air underneath it. So we poke it like this all over so that the air can escape. So I just take and go all around it. Don't worry about that looks like I have too many, because you don't. I even do them around here too. Okay, now we put it in a preheated oven at 425 for about 5 minutes, and we're going to check it. Okay, so this didn't really raise up a lot, but now you just, if there's a big bubble right here, then you just poke it again. And I would say probably the secret of having the flaky crust is using this, I don't know what you call it now, I forgot. Anyway, cuts into it like that, and you don't mix it too much. You want to have the shortening kind of be a little bit separate. It's not all smooth. That's what makes the flakiness of it. So you just have to practice to be able to do pies, and they'll come out fine. Like I said, I use Crisco. I don't use lard or butter or anything else. And it's like 1 cup of flour, a little bit of salt, and a 1/2 cup of shortening. Crisco shortening is what I've always used.